Hello everybody, this is Jean-Paul from the rock band Clutch, and you are listening to Schleifer on Sousa Radio. Well, Prong was very much a big influence on myself and Tim especially. We came up in the hardcore scene. We went to a lot of metal shows as well, and Prong was a band for us that stood out because they were not afraid to slow the music down. So many of the bands were playing fast back then, so they slowed it down and they put a groove into the music. And that was unique for us, and we're very much a fan of Tommy Victor, his sound, the way he wrote songs. I still love Tommy. He's great. Germantown in Maryland looks nothing like Germany. I can tell you that. When I first moved there, it was quite rural, actually. A lot of farms. And the elementary school that I went to was really just it was a school that was in the middle of a field. But since then, it's grown up tremendously, and it's quite suburban now.
Okay.
Well, when we have a new album out, we stay out quite a bit. I would say that we're away almost half the time. Once we've toured the States a couple times and done a tour of Europe, the touring eases up a little bit, so we get to be at home a little more often. But we are very much a live band, and this is what we do. I think we're best at playing live, and we very much enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Of course, this is amazing. This is the best job in the world. I have the opportunity to play drums every night. I'm in a band with my best friends. There's free beer. It's good. I love it. I don't take it for granted. I practice the instrument every day. I think about music every day. This is not something that we just go in and we punch a clock and leave like an office. This is something that we do all the time, 24 hours a day.
Okay. Do you know what the best beer in Germany?
The best beer in Germany? I can tell you my favorite beer in Germany is fresh local beer, whatever that beer might be.
I thought free beer.
What's I'm sorry?
Free beer.
Free beer is the best beer, sure. Well, I think I would say that's not incorrect. We came up in the hardcore scene not because I think we were a hardcore band, but because the scene itself was a very active place to start a band. And so we were able to immediately get shows and we traded shows with other bands, and we were able to travel almost immediately. We were going from Maryland, we would go to Boston, or we would go down to Virginia, up to Pennsylvania, New York City. And this was all because of the hardcore scene. It was a very active place. But we are not necessarily a hardcore band, and we listen to all kinds of stuff, even in the very early days. So the sound evolved. We continued to learn to play our instruments. We toured a lot, and I think that has a lot to do with it as well. We really learned to be a band together. By the time I started Clutch, I had only been playing drums for 4 years at that point. Mm-hmm. And so we really learned from each other, and we continue to do that. The music is continuing to evolve, mm-hmm. and you get influenced by all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, you have your own music label with Weathermaker. Henning would like to know if you only promote it yourself with it, or do you have another band you care about?
Well, it's really for Clutch. It's a vehicle to get Clutch music out to the fans, and we have experimented with releasing other bands. We put out a record by a group called Lion Eyes. We have Neil does a project called the Company Band, and so we've experimented with that. But really, for the most part, it's for Clutch and Clutch music. Mm-hmm. Hi, everybody. This is Jean-Paul from the band Clutch, and you are listening to Clementis Jukebox on Sousa Radio. Well, I would say the most noticeable difference is the sound. The process started in Nashville with Vance Powell, and really that was, I think, instrumental in making the record sound different than the previous albums. The song selection, I think, is also quite wide-ranging. There's more slow stuff and more fast stuff. And we were able to experiment, I think, a little bit more with the songwriting this time around. But, you know, each record is different. And each one kind of is a photograph of where the band was at that time. And sometimes, being in the band, it's difficult to really know where that record sits in the evolution of the band, sometimes for a couple years.
Mm-hmm. So it's more blues than hardcore?
Definitely more blues than hardcore. For the concert tonight, it is Tim. So Tim will make the set list, and then tomorrow will be Dan. And that, when Dan starts, that marks the beginning of the cycle. So it goes Dan, myself, Neil, and Tim. And that is in alphabetical order by first name.
Yeah. You play every night another set list.
We do. We've been doing that now for over 20 years. And it's a good thing for us because it keeps us engaged. There are a wider variety of songs that we pull from. And it also keeps the audience engaged as well. I think they have learned to expect us to play something different every night. Sometimes we'll play some old songs that we have not played in some time. We've been playing a lot of the material off of Book of Bad Decisions as well. So it keeps it exciting. And it's like we were talking about before. This is not like you go to the office and you punch in the clock. This is a real musical situation. We try to challenge ourselves and the audience as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's your biggest fan here?
Okay.
Melly would like to know if you know the festival Stoned of the Underground. Have you ever given a concert there?
I've heard of Stoned of the Underground. Many years ago in the United States, we did Sounds of the Underground, and this was a metal festival. And let's see, I believe Lamb of God was on that one, Opeth was on that one, High on Fire, a lot of good bands. And then I know that since then they've made this Stone from the Underground. Maybe we'll play there one day. We are. It's great. There's a great deal of mutual respect amongst the four of us. I think we know how to live together on the road, give each other space when necessary, and as I said, we have a great musical rapport as well. We continue to challenge ourselves and try different ideas all the time. So it's great. Neil writes all the lyrics. And I think that's a good thing. I tried writing lyrics about 25 years ago and they were terrible. So I won't do that. But as far as the music goes, it's very much the four of us. And there is no one set way that the music comes together. There are many different styles for us to create a song. Sometimes it's just a drum idea, sometimes a bass line. But we get together and we start putting these ideas together, and it's interesting because we'll be in the room jamming maybe for 45 minutes and no one says anything really. We just play. We have an unspoken communication now. Okay. And so many times within 45 minutes with very little verbiage we are able to create a new song.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think you have a question.
Do you know something about the favorite Christmas market here in Hamburg, in front of the music hall?
Yes.
You have seen it?
I have seen it. I've been there.
Yes.
Yeah, we were here the winter before last, and we had a day off, and we
Okay.
spent quite some time there at the
Okay.
Christmas market. Yeah, it was a
Okay.
lot of fun. I like
It's,
it.
it's an erotic Christmas market.
Yeah, I
you
saw
know?
that. It's an erotic one. Yeah, it's unlike any Christmas market I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
But I enjoy the Christmas market.
Okay.
I'll probably go down there later tonight and walk around and check it out.
And are you interested in football, in German football?
I don't know much about German football. I played football when I was a kid, and I did that until I started playing drums.
Okay.
I think I'm a better drummer than I was a football player.
Okay.